friends. Welcome to the premiere edition of Jazz y Más with Viviám María López. My guest today is a Cuban-born musician. His music has been featured in films and television shows in USA and Canada. He has performed extensively at festivals around the world. His fifth album pays tribute to a legendary figure of Cuban and Latin American music, Ernesto Lecuona. My guest is vocalist, guitarist, composer, arranger, and band leader Luis Mario Ochoa. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, Viviam.
A pleasure. So you were born in Havana. How was it growing up? Some childhood memories of growing up at that capital filled with music?
Well, capital filled with gangs. I lived in a rough neighborhood, Malecón y Galeano. For those ones that know Havana, it's not a very good area. But we were living in the third floor, and we grew up there, playing around with the kids from the neighborhood sometimes, and running around.
Now at home, there was music all the time. What kind of music did you hear at home?
Well, because my father was a musician, great musician, founding member of one of the greatest trio that Cuba has given, Voces de Oro.
Yes.
For me, the best. I had music all the time at home. We were listening to a station called Radio Enciclopedia, and at night we listened to trios, stations. There was a program in radio that was just for trios, international trios, and they play hymns sometimes there as well. So that was the music that we listened. Good music, good music.
Without a doubt. Now your father, Luis Ochoa Sr., again, guitarist, vocalist, just like you. What a great mentor. But I know
I am vocalist just like him. Is the other way around. Yeah.
There you go. Of course, like I said, your biggest mentor, and make him always proud. So because of that, you had that support, you would say, at home. I mean, not only you were living it, but also I think your mother was an important force for you to perhaps get into music.
Yeah. I have a sister, and just the girl, we have to put her to study music. Him, he will be, I don't know, he's a crazy guy. So they put her to study piano. She didn't care much. They bought her a little piano, and I was the one that with one finger, replicating melodies that I hear. And, soon, like 6 months later, she quit. And my father, I want to, learn music, and he said, well, I'm going to start teaching you guitar, and he started. It was like, I don't know, 7, 8, 9. I don't remember exactly the age, and learned my first chords with him, and then all of a sudden, like a few weeks later, I started looking for other sounds on the guitar, and he said, he got really upset, like. Practice what I taught you, no, don't start playing around. And
so he was very
said, I'm not
strict.
going to, I'm not going to teach you anymore. And then, my mother said, let's put this guy into a music school. My father didn't want to. I don't know why. He was a musician, but he knew that industry is a crazy one. And then when I was about 10 years old, they put me in a conservatory. Very strict. We were playing Bach and all those things. And 13 years later, I graduated from Instituto Superior de Arte in Havana, classical guitar. Thank God I had popular music at home with him,
Yes.
Because in Cuba, for one of those reasons, you put a chord that was a little bit altered, and they said that it was an imperialistic kind of chord. So, the obsession there with everything politicized and even harmony was crazy. So I had popular music at home, thank God.
Yes.
Because most of my friends, most of my colleagues at the school cannot even accompany themselves playing La Bamba. I mean, they don't know how to connect one chord with another, and I had that at home.
So it's excellent, that balance between the classical, the tradition, if you may, but at home the popular, and also the difference that you probably found when you were trying to maybe play with your friends, like a jam, if you may, or but that you remember. It was challenging, I suppose.
Well, it was really good. There are some guys here, one of them very, prominent musician, that we started playing there in Cuba when we were in second or third years of school. His name is Gonzalo Rubalcaba, and we played like for 4 years together. And he's in his first groups. Then we moved to Amadeo Roldan, and because I didn't have a classical, an electric guitar, it was really complicated. I said, well, I'm going to practice more the classical, and he went on the other direction. And he's what he is today. You know, he's a mega star. Miguel Angel, piano pan con salsa, was there in the school. Conrado Garcia, who is here as well. You know, those were my colleagues from school.
And everyone.
And it was, you know, we did jam and we had some fun. And
but what you're thinking, and we're talking about also like imagining improvisation. Your uncle, who was another amazing musician, Chombo Silva, legendary saxophonist, and even violin player.
Absolutely, yeah, and guitar player as well. The guy was fantastic. But he left Cuba in the 50s. He left a really long time ago, much before the revolution, and he was playing in the jazz scene in New York. I didn't have the chance to personally meet him, although when I left Cuba in 1990, we exchanged beautiful letters, and through him I met Paquito de Rivera. He was the one that gave me the contact. He said, well, you know, and he also said, you know, as long as you write to me, I will write to you. And he wrote to me beautiful letters until he passed away. Aww. So it was really nice.
Yes, and he has stayed in the annals of music, you know, as another important figure. Now it's time to take our first break, but we have a special surprise, a special treat for you. I know that your father was an instrumental and mentor for you, and I thought this will be a very special moment to give you this album that has Trio Voces de Oro, Nuestra Música, a rarity. So I thought that you would really enjoy it. And for you, my friends, we have a very, very special treat as well, right when we come back from this break. Stay with us.
Learn and earn today at Miami-Dade College. College graduates earn 56% more than high school graduates and $1 million more in lifetime earnings. A degree from MDC is your path to greater earning power and career success. Choose from hundreds of affordable high-tech and in-demand career programs, including cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, business, and nursing. Learn and earn today at MDC and fast-track your career. Enroll now at mdc.edu/purpose.
We're back with Jazz y Más. I'm Viviám María López, and with me, Luis Mario Ochoa.
Viviam, rico estar aquí.
Gracias. So you graduate from University of Havana, and you start getting into the music scene.
Yes, graduated and started accompanying some great vocalists. Xiomara Laugar was one of them, Luis Telles. And then at the end of 1989, a trio that was planning to travel, going a tour to Europe and Canada, called me just to sing. I said, okay, well, you know, I'm not that expert in singing, but let's do it. And they took me to Toronto in 1990, August 1990.
A big change for you?
Yeah, big change. You know, I got to see some former neighbor, and for whatever reason, you know, since everything is political there, I was not allowed to talk to anybody that was not part of the Cuban tour. So they got me in the big trouble, and I said, well, you know, I better stay here in Toronto and avoid what could be waiting for me in Cuba. And that's it. I've never gone back. 1990, I was able to take my parents out of there in 1991, and that was basically the main reason. I didn't have any reason to go back anyway. So in Toronto, I started, you know, the music, the Cuban music was zero. I was the first Cuban musician to record an album in Canada. And that happened in 1993, 94, 95. And I was teaching basically everybody. People loved it, but it was a hard thing. But we came out with a pretty good album, and through it I met beautiful people. The music of the CD was featured in some films.
Yes.
And, you know, years later I was recording a second album, and, you know, today
so
we
we're
are
talking,
number
of course,
5.
A La Cubana, your first one, then La Fiesta.
La Fiesta was a salsa album.
Right.
Because, you know, it was hard to play Cuban music in Canada. You know, the Latins there understood salsa. They didn't understand the music of the late 80s and early 90s in Cuba, which was turning into a timba, kind of a Cuban funky music. It was too hard for them. So I had to, you know, follow Q and do a salsa album. It was pretty...
Again, it was well accepted.
Yeah, well accepted, and you know, it was all my songs, all original material. So,
and then of course you continued recording, you continued expanding your career. Then comes Cimarrón, in this case, you know, with an all-star band, including some special guests.
Yes. But by that time, I said, you know what, I want to do what I want to do, and I had some special guests. Paquito, as I mentioned before, Guido Basso, which is just like a Clark Terry of the flugelhorn in Canada and international. You know,
yes.
He played with a big band called Boss Brass.
Yes.
And he's fantastic, and was my father there.
Well,
as well.
that was the special touch of that album, I would have to say. In fact, that song Alma con Alma with this legendary composer, guitarist also, Juanito Marquez, who's actually now 93 years old, one of the last living legends.
Blessings for him.
Yes, completely. And what a special album, because again, the first time that you actually record with your father, Luis Ochoa.
Yes, indeed. It was the first one and the last one, unfortunately. It's a beautiful song.
It is
a beautiful song. I just put strings on the arrangement and a beautiful flugelhorn, and I was able to record it here in Miami. We recorded.
Yes. In fact, let's listen to some little bit of
absolutely.
That song,
That would
Alma
be
con
great.
Alma.
Y en un abrazo unirnos y así pedirte que estemos toda la vida, alma con alma, labios con labios. Todo lo que sueño es tan dulce como tú. Sueño con cositas tan lindas como tú.
Oh, so beautiful. And what a perfect moment for some live music.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
With your inseparable guitar.
Oh, yes, my baby.
What are you going to play for us?
Well, there is a Puerto Rican musician that I admire very much that loved Cuban music so much that he went to live in Cuba, and he composed some great songs such as Cachita,
Yes.
El Cumbanchero, and the one that I would love to play is
Capullito de Alelí, right?
de Alelí.
Oh.
Yeah, Capullito de Alelí. You hear it the other day, me practicing it, so here you go. Lindo capullo de Alelí, si tú supieras mi dolor, correspondieras a mi amor y calmaras mi sufrir, porque tú sabes que sin ti la vida es nada para mí. Tú bien lo sabes, capullito de Alelí. No hay en el mundo para mí otro capullo de Alelí, que yo le dé mi corazón y que le brinde mi pasión, porque tú eres la mujer a quien le he dado mi querer. Y juraré, lindo Alelí,
fidelidad hasta morir. Por eso yo te canto a ti, lindo capullo de alelí. Dame tu aroma seductor y un poquito de tu amor, porque tú sabes que sin ti la vida es nada para mí. Tú bien lo sabes, capullito de alelí. No hay en el mundo para mí otro capullo de alelí, que yo le dé mi corazón y que le brinde mi pasión, porque tú eres la mujer a quien le he dado mi querer, y juraré, lindo alelí, fidelidad hasta morir. Por eso yo te canto a ti, lindo capullo de alelí. Dame tu aroma seductor y un poquito de tu amor, porque tú sabes que sin ti la vida es nada para mí. Tú bien lo sabes, capullito de alelí. Tú bien lo sabes, capullito de alelí. Tú bien lo sabes, capullito de alelí.
Thank you, Luis Mario, and that beautiful performance will take us to the break. When we return, we're going to hear more about Luis Mario's new projects and, in fact, an album dedicated to a legendary figure of Cuban and Latin American music who's known in jazz as the Cuban Gershwin. Right after this.
Learn and earn today at Miami-Dade College. College graduates earn 56% more than high school graduates and $1 million more in lifetime earnings. A degree from MDC is your path to greater earning power and career success. Choose from hundreds of affordable high-tech and in-demand career programs, including cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, business, and nursing. Learn and earn today at MDC and fast-track your career. Enroll now at mdc.edu/purpose.
We're back with Jazz y Más with Viviám María López, and of course with me, Luis Mario Ochoa.
Thank you.
So it's 2008, and now another album is released, Momentos Cubanos.
Yes, you know, I had a problem with big bands. The previous CD had 500 musicians, and every time that I wanted to apply for a jazz festival or concert or something, and I said, well, how many are you guys? Oh, we are 10, 12. They wanted to call the police on me, like, hey, what the heck, you know? So I said, well, let's go down to 4 or 5. And I came up with this album that my wife entitled, Momentos Cubanos.
Love it.
So it was very, very quiet kind of thing, not the horn ensemble that I was used to work with. But I felt really good because I started doing what I wanted to do, featuring more my guitar, and a great friend of mine, Hilario Duran, as well, who is on the piano, great pianist.
Of course, and I know he's collaborated with you as an
Very
arranger,
much, yes.
and he's just magnificent. And it's great about being an independent artist, the flexibility of having, you had a quintet, like you're saying, like an acoustic quintet and a sextet, a Cuban sextet, as well as even a Latin jazz tentet.
Yeah, those are the good things about being independent that can hurt you as well, because they say, where are you? Since record company, everything is just by blocks, they box you really easily. But yeah, being independent, you can do many different projects, and being okay. You know, that's the beauty of being free.
Yes, that's the beauty of being free. Now, in addition to the recordings, to your performances, you also went, for example, to New York, the Jazz at Lincoln Center. You've been featured guests for different.
Yes. Paquito again invited me, who I have played, and thank him so much for helping my career. He invited me to play there in 2008, 2009 actually, and we spent 1 week at DC Coca-Cola at Lincoln Jazz Center, or Jazz at Lincoln Center.
Right, correct. Now, another change. 2014 comes. You move to Miami.
Yes.
And of course, you begin with new projects here.
Yes. Well, the reason I moved to Miami was, family related issues. Yes. So I've been extremely quiet here. Very, very low key.
More in the studio. I think you've been more
more
writing.
In the studio and writing and arranging and for other people and editing and composing as well. So.
But also, I think you were very inspired. I think when you arrived, maybe the connection with Miami, if you may, and started working in a very special project, which is your latest album, the Lecuona tribute.
The Lecuona tribute, yes, Forever Lecuona. That started with the previous album, Momentos Cubano, where I sang Siboney, which is one of his iconic tunes. And boy, they were playing that everywhere in Toronto and Canada. Everybody was asking me for that song. It's like, oh my God, So let's do another album of that, just featuring the music of Lecuona. And between Hilario and I did all the arrangements, and it followed on the steps of Momentos Cubanos, which is a quintet. I had some different guests, but it's basically that, a quintet.
And I think the style, a lot of the album, which again, you're taking some of Lecuona's better known compositions, and I know there he has over 600 under his name, all kinds of different
he did everything.
Styles. He did everything, which is why probably you had such an inspiration to bring to newer generations his music and his legacy.
For whatever reason, they weren't able to hide Lecuona in Cuba, or just like they did with Celia Cruz, for example. So people in the conservatories still played La Comparsa and pieces like that. But I wanted to bring that to the new generations and feature that his music is just for eternity.
Yes, it's timeless, completely timeless.
An amazing composer. I mean, the guy did it all. Wrote operas, concerts.
Film scores.
He was a fantastic virtuoso.
Yes.
He did everything. Operas, music themes.
Yes.
Okay.
In fact, in 1942,
Mi Corazón,
yes, Always in My Heart,
nominated for
an Academy Award.
Yes, absolutely.
In 1942. I mean, we're talking about just amazing work. So it's beautiful that you're bringing it to the newer generations, and also in 2023, which coincides, with the 60th anniversary of his passing, which also happens to be, your year of birth when he passed
absolutely,
away.
Yes. I'll be 60 years old, by the way. But no, I feel like I am 35.
Yes, music makes you young.
Going and very happy of being able to present new material all the time, or new stuff, or all things made in my own style, new way.
And talking about new things or things in your own style, I also know that, again, like I said, you're busy in the studio writing, composing, and you have also a new project in the works. What can you share? I know that it's still it's original music, right?
Yes. It was basically during COVID. Lecuona Forever was already done, and I said, well, what am I going to do there? I better hurry up because I think nothing is happening. And I finished another project that I had in mind, just with my own compositions.
Yes.
And I will play some stuff for you, and maybe you can play something, a preview on your program soon. Yes, that would be great. That would be great if you do that. Yes, I never stop. And I think the moment you stop playing music or loving music or doing for a musician, you can stop playing because you got an accident or whatever, but you can then write or compose or arrange or whatever. The moment you stop, life stops.
Exactly.
So
creation
I hope I
stops
can do it till the end of my days.
I hope so too. And in fact, when we've talked about your father, one thing that he taught you was discipline and hard work,
Yes.
which I think has translated in your life. And also for younger musicians who are getting into the music business, if any advice from your own that you can share.
Work, work, work hard, hard, hard.
Yes.
That's the only thing. I mean, it's so competitive, and it's not only competitive in the music sense. Now with all this social networking, and it's another career that you have to be involved with. So once you stop the recording and the project, then the other battle starts. That is trying to make it public and try that the world gets your music.
But in a way, it's good because, in fact, viewers can follow your new recordings, your presentations on social media, luismario.com, also on social media channels and YouTube
Absolutely.
as well. And
People
talking
can
about
reach me.
YouTube, I want to end our program today with a video of one of the songs that you have included in
Yes,
Forever
that
Licuana.
was
I
a
love that
fantastic-
song. Probably not as known because I think, and it's such a lively tune, Chancletera, right?
Chancletera, yes, yes, yes. It's a wonderful, wonderful song, happy tune,
Yes.
and great way to finish the interview. Thank you so much, Vivi, for having me, and hope you keep on growing and like the flower that you are.
Thank you, Luis Mario. And friends, it's time for us to say goodbye for now. Until next time, this is Viviám María López. Thanks for watching.
Chancletera nació, se crió en el manglar y por eso ella es flor de un aroma sin par. Chancletera llegó y con su alegre chancleta al sonar, pregonando ella va por la calle al pasar. Chancletera es sin par y con sensualidad nos contagia el vivir por doquiera que va. La mulata de risa infinita nos quiere alegrar. Vengan todos a ver cuánta felicidad. La vi con chancleteo hice por allí. Su remeneo no tiene fin, nos trae la fiebre y el frenesí. Preciosa sí, a ver qué puede con esa flor, flor de canela que es la mejor. Ay sí, señor.